Good afternoon, sir. How are
Good
you?
afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
All good, sir. So,
Yes.
so my name is Nikhil, and I would like to actually congratulate you on the commencement of this particular program of IPM,
Right.
and briefly telling the viewers as well that IIM Amritsar, which is the 15th IIM, which was established by the Ministry of Education in the year 2015, and the first batch was introduced for 2015-17 batch was there. And IIM Amritsar is well known for the MBA in Business Analytics, MBA in HR, Executive MBA, and its doctoral program. A decade anniversary of IIM Amritsar is going to be celebrated with introduction of the IPM program, which is Integrated Program and Management Program, which will be a 5-year program having the graduation plus the post-graduation combined together for the students. The 3-year program which will be there, which is called as BSQFE, which is a Bachelor of Science BSc program in quantitative technique, finance and economics. And the students will also get an option that after 3 years, if they want to go for higher studies in any other prestigious institution, they are free to go after that, so that, or they can continue with the 2-year MBA program with IIM Amritsar itself. So this is a brief introduction that we have got to know, sir. But the reason why we are connecting is to get a more insight out of it and to get a brief introduction about what all are the visions and what are the things, because we have seen IIM Indore conducting the BA plus MBA program. We have seen the other IIMs introducing, like IIM Bangalore introducing the 4-year BBA program. We have seen the other 5 more IIMs doing the BBA plus MBA program. But IIM Amritsar took a leap here with the new kind of program, which is a BSc program. So focusing upon the quantitative and finance and economics part of it. So first thing I would like to ask you, sir, that can you please share the vision behind this particular IPM program that IIM Amritsar has introduced, and how does it differentiate itself from the other similar programs run by the other 6 of the IIMs?
Right. Firstly, Nikhil, thank you so much for having me on your show. I mean, we really appreciate the work done by channels like you and companies like you in spreading the right kind of information among the students. Right. So, thank you so much for having me on the show and for the work that you do. Right. Coming to your question, uh, so why BSc in quantitative finance and economics, right? So firstly, at IIM Amritsar, we are pretty excited about this undergraduate education space, right? So we think that going forward, almost all of us will have to be in this space because one, there is uh, a lot of obviously talent and skills and that is present in this space, and it is, as of now, our feeling is that it is underserved. Right, outside the IITs and the few IIMs that you have mentioned, and of course there are a good number of private institutions, but still, compared to the kind of intake that we get after 12th, the good places are pretty rare, right? Then going
Right.
forward, uh, you're right. Most of the IIMs have gone for what you call as a BBA or some version of, either it is BMS or BA with foundations in management and some versions of a general management program. We thought that, I mean,
Right.
when we looked at this scenario, uh, we realized one thing that rather, a few, 2 or 3 issues that we get students in our MBA program. Right? There are broadly two kinds of students. One are those engineers with some years of experience and they come to an MBA program, and the others are those BCom and BBA graduates who also graduate very naturally into an MBA program. And we have a very classic, if you remember that scene from the movie Two States, right, where Alia Bhatt is an economics graduate and Arjun Kapoor is a engineering graduate, and then uh, so that's a kind of classic scenario that we see in our classrooms. That the BBA and BCom students, they're very good with concepts, but when it comes to problem solving and numerical problem solving, they kind of struggle a little. Whereas engineers, they have not heard these concepts before, but they are good at mathematical skills. Right? So one, we think there is an urgent need within the MBA curriculum to, or within the management education space, both undergrad and postgrad, to have a balance of these two at the undergrad level, right? Where you have students who come with good management concepts plus good understanding or good hold on mathematics and statistics. Right? That is one. Two, if you look at the overall way the industry is panning out, right? We are all moving towards what we call as a data-driven decision making, in management, right? And the use of data, the use of analytics, the use of machine learning, and now you have all these artificial intelligence based decision making processes, right? That is increasing, and so we think that there is a very strong need for getting into this mathematics, statistics, and programming curriculum, very strongly at the undergrad level, right? So, because of these reasons, we thought that a BSc with a very strong base in math, stats, and computing, right? Plus, so where are you going to apply this on? You are going to apply this in some domain. So we thought that we will start with finance and economics, right? If you look at the finance and economic scenario, we are already into this whole issue of algorithmic trading, high frequency trading. Our finance is becoming global. So all those global shocks are having impacts on our banks and our financial institutions and stability of the financial system. And you need, I think, a very good level of understanding of mathematical models, statistical techniques to grapple with these situations. So it's our humble attempt to train students right from their undergraduate level to to kind of take up leadership roles in this field.
So basically, what I can take away from what you said, sir, that there are three parts mistaken. IIM and specifically IIM Amritsar has always been very good on the fronts of the the overall development of the student. And obviously, the MBA program that IIM Amritsar is providing is not just a bookish knowledge that they are trying to provide to the students. It's more about the overall development as well as the practical aspects of the things. And that is why there will be a proper blend of all the be it commerce, be it science. So that is one thing which is the reason why, because of which this is particular block.
I think, Nikhil sir, there is some lag with the internet issue at your end. Hello?
Into consideration, and add the analytical skills and the mathematical skills. The other part of it, where to find a lot of the skills of management is there, the skill of economics and the financial part is there. So to bring a perfect blend, this particular course is being brought forward, and this sir actually perfectly told that the curriculum will be about the management, will be about the liberal arts, will be about the analytical skills and the mathematical skills. And sir, you have focused a lot about the mathematical skills, and that is one of the reasons why there is apart from what are the other IIMs actually asking, that in the 11th and 12th, the student have to have mathematics as its core subject if they want to apply for this particular program. So, sir, is that the reason because of which you have brought this thing?
Yes, Nikhil, sorry. Before answering your question, I would like to make clear one thing, right? That we will be putting up our detailed term-wise curriculum up on our website very soon. But there is an indicative list of courses which is there already, right?
Okay.
We are not trying to be everything for everybody, right? This is a very focused curriculum, and that is something that I would want your audience to appreciate. This is not a curriculum, though we would introduce our students to general management, but this is not a general management program like the other BBA programs. Right? Let us be very clear about it. We should also be very clear that this has very little or practically no liberal arts components. Right? This is a program focused on finance and economics using quantitative techniques. Right? So, though we come under the broad umbrella of IPM because we offer a BS plus MBA kind of a package, but still the undergraduate curriculum is very radically different from what is offered by most of the other IIMs that I know. All right. It's a finance and economics focused program. It has very strong mathematics and statistics and computing component. I mean, to give you some idea, from the we have some very basic curriculum in place. We are just working out some finer points of it. Over the first 3 years, the bachelor's part of it, you will be studying as many as 8 courses on mathematics and statistics. All right. Plus, obviously, the finance and economics courses will have their own quantitative component. So all the mathematics and statistics that you study in the core math stats courses will be applied in the finance and economics courses. All right. So this is not a program like the general BBA programs that maybe your students are used to. All right. I have also been getting a lot of mails saying that please do away with the mathematics component, etc., etc. We are honestly trying to be a little conservative because this is obviously an issue about the future of the students, right? And we don't want students to come here with some very wrong notions and they say, oh, this is not for me. Right? So only those students who think that they have an aptitude for good higher level maths, right? Who have taken maths in the undergrad programs in your 11th and 12th and would like to work further in the domain of maths, stats, computing, and its applications in finance and economics. All right? Because as I said earlier also, we see the finance field more than any other of those management domains going at a very fast pace into mathematical models and computing and statistical techniques based work. All right. So any kind of leadership positions in this particular area you would need these basic skills, right? So it is designed in that with that particular focus in mind. This is not a general BBA program, right? So obviously, if I'm entering an organization, I may be entering an organization as a CFO, but still I should know what the organization is, how the organization works, what are the marketing side compulsions or production side compulsions or HR side issues that an organization will face, right? So to that extent, we are introducing you to general management, all right? But the core of this program is going to be finance and economics.
So is that obviously as you are getting mails for that, at the same time, we also have around 2,100 students which are studying under the umbrella of IPM careers. And here I would like to take up, on the part of my students who are mentor, I would like to request you that at least if you can go away with for this first year, the mathematical portion of it, because initially IIM Indore also started with the same thing. They used to have maths as a compulsory subject, but because IIM in Amritsar has just introduced and the students weren't aware that they have to take up this particular thing, and because of the preparation that they are so overwhelmed with for the IPMAT examination, that might be the reason of some of the students who are actually good in mathematical skills and they can do really good in the statistics parts of it. But because they want to prepare solely about IPMAT, that is also one of the reason because they don't take maths in the 11th and 12th. So if obviously my saying will not make a lot of difference, but on the part of the 2,100 students that we have, I would like to request that if you can change this particular norm at least for the first year or the first 2 years, if it is possible at all.
No, I think, Nikhil, the answer to your question lies in your question itself, right? If I'm not comfortable taking 11th, 12th standard maths, because of whatever reasons, see, if a subject is something that I enjoy and is easy for me, then I would, if the other pressures like IPMAT studies are very good, I would like to take a subject which is in my 11th, 12th, which is easy for me, right? And if I think maths is easy for me, I would take it, all right? So uh, our thought process is slightly the other way around, in the sense that since this is the first batch, right, we would like to be a little cautious, if I may say so, a little conservative, and we would like to take students who are comfortable in these domains, right? Going forward, we may think of either other forms of undergrad programs, or maybe a general BBA. I mean, I'm not kind of making a promise or anything, but we going forward, obviously, these plans are always open, right? But for this particular program, I mean, we have taken decision that this is going to be a that we need some form of math. Again, let me also use your channel to clarify that you know I need some kind of math subject in your 12th mark sheet. It may be applied math, it may be core math, it may be math, it may be statistics, it may be mathematics for economics, or mathematics and statistics, some kind of a, so I understand that different boards will have different versions or different nomenclature for this, right? So whatever version of maths you may have at the 12th level, which will be acceptable to us. All right. Right. So that is the
So the way you actually explained the whole curriculum part of it, so some of my students have been a part of IIM Amritsar. If you know the names, Akshat Jain, Paramjeet Singh, these were my students who took part in MBA business analytics part of it. And they were all gaga about the kind of the curriculum that is there. And the way you have explained the things, sir, is it true that this particular degree program in management will be focused upon the business analytics, data mining, more inclined towards that part of it, or what would be the kind of the the exposure that a student will be expecting if they join this particular course, and when they join this particular course, and then kind of jobs that they might have a picture about.
all right. So yes, this is sorry. Right. So
No,
from
I
what
just was my question.
Nikhil, your voice is getting interrupted every now and then. But from what I understand, your question, you were asking about whether this is going to be a data analytics focused program, right? And what
And
kind of
business
jobs?
analytics.
Yeah.
In-
Yeah. So yes, this is
Right.
again, I would not say that this is a analytics focused program. I would want to add that this is analytics plus finance and economics, or application of analytics in finance and economics. So, to kind of paint you some picture about what kind of future prospects would be there for these students, right? So, for example, if you do a traditional BBA, you would, very logically graduate into an MBA program, all right? Which a BSc with quantitative finance and economics will also do. And that is the package that we offer currently, that you do a BSc quantitative finance and economics and you graduate into a MBA dual degree program, similar to what most of the other IIMs are on, right? But I would also want your audience to take note that it also opens several other career opportunities for you. For example, the MS programs in finance, or the master's programs in economics, right? Which are independent career tracks, but these are also open for you. As far as the analytics field is concerned, I see when I hear conversations about analytics around, a lot of us, are what I would say, doing data visualization. And we are trying to that is one subset of analytics, but that is not everything in analytics, right? So if you want to do substantial work in analytics, you need three things. You need mathematics, you need statistics, and you need computing, right? And then you need to apply these three things onto a domain, which in our case is going to be finance and economics, right? So yes, we would equip a student so that if the student wants to take a career in analytics, he or she would be able to. As far as this program is concerned, we are looking at applications of analytics in finance.
So because the students that will be joining this particular program will be the just after 12 students, and they are quite fresh on their minds. Obviously, they are like wet cement. Whatever you will actually lay upon the concepts, they will be able to actually mold their career accordingly. So that is a very good initiative that you're taking. At the same time, I would like to know that what are unique initiatives or the extracurricular activities that you have planned for the students? What are the plans as far as the faculty who will be teaching them? Will be the same faculty will be there who will be teaching who are teaching the MBA students, or we have some completely reformed faculty team, or the recruiting those? What are the global collaborations or the industry partnership for the internships that you might have planned? If you can share a little bit about it.
Sure. So yes, we are committed to give students the best of the best experience that we can, right? So all those, since you already said that you know some students who are part of IIM Amritsar, right? Who have been your students. So firstly, thank you for giving us some very good students. So those students would also tell you that we have a very vibrant student culture, right? We have our student bodies, the student council is there. We have several other, almost 8-10 clubs and committees under which various interest groups. So there is a finance and economics interest group, there is a photography interest group, there is a marketing interest group, there is we have a laughter cell, so who keeps on organizing some nice events every now and then. Very recently, we concluded our annual fest, Arunya, which was entirely managed by the students, right? The IPM students will obviously be absorbed in the student fraternity. Sorry, what did you say?
Right, sir. Arunya was there last week of February itself, I guess.
Yes.
Just got
just got right. So yes, those things keep happening. We have Kritansh, which is our annual sports meet. Simultaneously, our students participate in several, inter-IIM, inter-collegiate sports meet and cultural fest, case competition. So all that vibrant student life, which is currently enjoyed by our current MBA students. Of course, the IPM students will be part of this student community, right? So I would say you would find, for all your prospective, for all our prospective students, you will not find any dearth of excitement on those counts, all right? Coming to the next part of your question, as far as the faculty is concerned, yes, the same faculty which teaches in MBA programs will also be teaching, will be using. Obviously, there has to be some kind of an adjustment for in pedagogy as far as, because these are undergraduate students, right? Typically, a student in MBA class comes with at least 1 or 2 years experience and so on, right? But in terms of case studies, simulations, etc., we will kind of dip into the same sources, right? It may not be the exact same case study because the levels of discussions are going to be quite different in BBA, BSc and MBA programs, undergrad and postgraduate program. But like say, for example, if I'm using a Harvard case in MBA, we will use a similar, either a Harvard case or the same pool will be used for sourcing our cases, right? So yes, if I've got your question correct.
Okay, surely you have. So one last question that the students generally do have in their mind is that after they have completed the 3 year of BSc program with IIM Amritsar, after that, will they, and some of the students will be coming after giving the examination of CAT. So will there be a single batch where both of the students will be sitting, what will be the kind of cross learning that will be there between the students, or these students will be taught differently, or it will be based on the domains that they select for themselves? What exactly would be the way ahead for the students, which IIM Amritsar has already planned for them?
Yes, so yes, they would be merged with our regular MBA batch in terms of their classes and everything. I mean, if we have not really uh, said it explicitly, but as you know, we have three different MBA programs, right? We have MBA, General MBA, we have MBA BA, and we have MBA HR, right? So if after a few years or after 3 years, if a student thinks that I want to pursue more on the analytics side, right, then that path would also be open for that student. So currently what we are thinking is that is a plain kind of vanilla offering that we have right now, right? That you come to us and you will uh, carry on with your MBA curriculum, with the regular MBA curriculum that we have, right? Also, one of the things, option that we are evaluating is that uh, can these students, at least the ones who want to, can we offer them some different track? Like say, for example, uh, our feeling is that some of the maths, stats, economics, finance related courses which we offer in our MBA curriculum are probably these students would have done it in their undergrad level, right? So in lieu of that, if we can offer them some very specialized courses and a slightly different track, maybe a research track, maybe a high finance or an advanced finance track or whatever, right? So that is still under consideration. But right now the offer is that yes, BSc Quant Finance and Economics plus the regular MBA. All right. As far as placement and other activities are concerned, they will be uh, kind of the same facilities that are open for any other MBA student of IIM Amritsar. The same facilities will be open for them. The same placement programs will be open for them. They just, I mean, this is again happening with every other IIM also, that you will be getting an MBA with a dual degree under a dual degree program, right? So that's the kind of plan going forward.
So one out of the way question, which is not just for IIM Amritsar, but for the other IIMs, I would like to ask that there are 21 IIMs right now. Now include when we have IIM Mumbai also being a part of the IIMs. So we don't just have the seven of the IIMs. So this IIM Amritsar has taken a good leap of faith with being the seventh one. So what was a major challenge to actually introduce the IPM program? Because everyone is at every college, every top of the IIM is well equipped with the kind of facilities. But what was a major challenge because of which you also joined today in this particular year itself? And how will we be able to see the other IIMs being a part of it? At the same time, one more question I have, that initially, there used to be the individual examination by IIM Amritsar, IIM Bangalore, and Calcutta. They used to have their own examination. Then they switched to the common admission test after IIM Lucknow was introduced. So, will we be also seeing a kind of a common admission test, which JIPMET tried of started, but because of the kind of the level of difficulty and the kind of the balance that IIM Indore has in their examination pattern, you also choose to go ahead with IIM Indore, not with the JIPMET program. So, what exactly is the way ahead for the other IIMs, as well as the a single examination for all the IIMs? So, will we be seeing that in the future?
Yeah, the way ahead, I mean, again, it is for each IIM to, I mean, their leadership is, I'm sure, is watching this scenario with equal, involvement. But having said that, I think we need to do a lot more in the undergraduate education space, right? We need to do a lot more in terms of diversifying our product mix, right? So from management to analytics to finance and economics. Obviously, the initial diversification will be in related domains, right? To liberal arts, right? These are all issues. kind of product offerings which I think the management institutions should consider. Right? It also gives you a more kind of rounded intellectual environment in the institution. Right? So at least for that reason, I think we should consider that. Coming to your second question, as far as the common entrance test is concerned, or the entrance test issue is concerned, we thought the IPMAT is pretty established. They have been doing that for like 10, 12 years. So, that was the reason for the choice, right? Going forward, I don't know. I mean, if all IIMs, because I think that there is no point in 20 IIMs conducting 20 different admission tests for the, right? So that I don't think is a optimal way of going about things, right? So there may be some kind of a cat-like pattern emerging at the undergrad level also. That is what I see, because it's easy for the students because they just have to give one test and they are eligible for an entire bouquet of 20 institutions, 20 plus institutions, if you consider all the other institutions that recognize the CAT score. All right. So in that sense, I think if this trend picks up, then that kind of a pattern may emerge going forward in future. Obviously, that is as far as only the management part of the undergrad education is concerned. If, like, as you say, some institutions diversify into, say, liberal arts or all those kind of, courses which are farther away from the core management domain, then we will have to think of different ways of evaluating students based on the needs of the program.
So the last question, now truly the last one. Taking a lot of time. So what will be, according to you, the 3 most sought after career options after a student does his IPM program with IIM Amritsar, and what kind of extra efforts that IIM Amritsar has already been taking for the MBA students I know about, for the startups and for the entrepreneurship students. They have this own, you have their own startup cell for them, or what kind of, so I'll reiterate my question. What are the 3 most sought after career opportunities that the students have after they complete their IPM program, and what does IIM Amritsar will offer for the new startups that will be, budding inside the IIM doors?
Right. Nikhil, before I take up this question, I think I've missed out on one aspect of your question, the previous question, which was the international types, right? You had the global types. Yes, so we do have currently some global types which are already functional. So some of our MBA programs, students are going for a dual degree. So there's we have an arrangement with Kedge Business School in France, where students from IIM Amritsar get some sort of a credit transfer, and they are eligible for a degree from Kedge Business School in France with just 1 year of this thing, right? Less than 1 year almost, right? So those kind of arrangements are being worked out. Some of them are already in place for our MBA students. We are talking to University of Maryland. We are talking to HSC in Russia, which is among the best school of economics in worldwide, right? So all these things are being worked out. Some of these are in place for our MBA students, and they will be open for the IPM students as well. Right? Okay, coming to your question, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot that question. Three career opportunities, right? So there is a whole host of career opportunities in the finance domain, right? Like, say, for example, in the domain of algorithmic trading, in the domain of high frequency trading, risk management, going a little, and this is where I think I hope our program will kind of stand out. So, say, for example, these days we are talking about, stress test on the financial system. The central bank keeps conducting how equipped our financial system is to some kind of an external shock or some kind of a recessionary shock, right? So you need these models to run these stress tests, etc., etc. So these are the kind of jobs which I think our students will aspire for in the finance domain, right? In the domain of economics also, I mean, most of the leading banks today have a very active and very, very important economics analysis cell, all right? So those kind of jobs, if you take the economics track, and obviously, if you take the conventional MBA track, you have good leadership roles in corporates in terms of heads of finance or I'm specifically talking about BSc Finance and Economics plus MBA track, right? So these are some of the roles that would open for you post your IPM in IIM Amritsar, right? And the second part of your question was?
The startups and the entrepreneurs that will be budding inside the IIM Amritsar doors.
Yes, yes. So we have, as you know, we are our permanent campus is getting ready phase by phase, right? We have already shifted our academic block, a part of our hostels, etc. One of the important thing that is coming up in the permanent campus is our incubation center, all right? So we have a fairly large incubation center being planned there. Because of the lack of physical facilities there, we have still not started it, but very soon that should be getting operational, all right? We have, in our regular MBA, we have a number of courses which are related to strategic planning, entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth. Very recently, we conducted, in fact, it is going on right now, a workshop for MSMEs and startups as far as, I mean, a couple of weeks back, it was on digital transformation. This week, it is on, how to get your businesses export oriented, and so on and so forth. So our engagement with the MSME startup and entrepreneurship activities is fairly strong. I must also say that we have a very strong conducts an annual e-summit, where startup ideas from across the country are invited, and it's kind of a mini Shark Tank event where we invite investors who kind of judge these events, and they don't directly commit any funds, but obviously that conversation happens on the sidelines, right? So we do have a very strong ecosystem for entrepreneurship and startups within our institution, right?
So in the last, I just want to pitch in here that for all the students, for all the parents specifically, who want to actually get a very good lifestyle for their own children, IPM program is the in thing for you guys. And we have seen a lot of aspirants going to do this particular front. So in the last, I would just like to request, sir, if he can pitch the IPM program at IIM Amritsar to a hesitant parent. What would be your 30 seconds take, sir, on that? That if you want to actually ask us, because we have seen, sir, that around 3.3 lakh people appeared for CAT 2024. But at the same time, around 28,000 students appeared for IPM program in 2024. So there's a huge gap there. And the major reason is the exposure, the kind of knowledge that the student base has. And that is what we are trying from our side, and you are trying from your side. So on a collaborative front, you can just pitch in 30 seconds that why IPM at IIM Amritsar, sir, to the parents.
Well, yes, I think it is time that students start thinking right from their very young age what kind of careers they want to choose, right? And if your students are someone who is, say, for example, very strongly interested in mathematics, statistics, finance, economics, and those domains, and want to build a career on that. And we strongly believe that at least in the finance domain, that is the way to go, right? So apart from, of course, the usual accountancy related careers, but outside that, if you are a commerce student, if you are a say BA economics students, or even if you are a science student with a strong aptitude for mathematics, you should seriously consider a domain or a program which helps you apply your mathematics skills to a real life situation such as finance and economics, a real life domain such as finance. Right? So if that is the kind of career opportunity that is the kind of education that you're looking at, you should consider the BSc plus MBA program of IIM.